Rock and Joe. Rock and Joe. Rock and Joe. Rock and Joe. Rock and Joe.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Rock and Jouv show. Riding solo today is Rock, and it is not a joyous day. You'll be listening to this on Monday the 23rd. The Celtics have fallen to the Heat 2-1, and honestly, I didn't record this show on the day of the game. Saturday, of course, it ended late, and then Sunday, I just could not even bear to think about this game, let alone basketball in general. This was a pretty pathetic basketball game for everybody that watched. I mean, obviously, Boston lost this game, what ended up being by 6 points. 39-18 is in the first quarter is really what lost it, but that is where I would argue that is not actually even where we lost the game. There were a ton of things wrong with this game, a ton of opportunities for us to turn the ship around, and we did not. And I will just list you a couple factors. First of all, the game was lost in the third quarter. Now, that might not make a lot of sense necessarily, but we were down by, at times, 26 in the first half. Then the Celtics went on a 10-0 run at the end of the second quarter to bring it to within 15. I'm sitting there saying, if we can get it down to 10, if we can get it down to 15, this is a game. Okay, Celtics are a pretty good come-from-behind team, especially at home. Game 3 in the playoffs, it's pretty exciting. Okay, the problem is we lost this game in the third quarter because we tied the third quarter, okay? Jimmy Butler leaves the game pretty unexpectedly with fluid in his knee, okay? So immediately I say this is a must-win game. Jimmy Butler is out. Kyle Lowry is playing kind of limited minutes. PJ Tucker only ended up playing maybe pretty limited minutes, 10 minutes in the third, 8 in the fourth. Pretty limited minutes. So this is a must win. We split the third quarter. That was it. We outscored them by 9 in the fourth quarter, but it was too little too late. Having tied that third quarter, like I've said on this podcast, we are a bad third quarter team, but the Heat honestly did not have an exceptional. I mean, I guess they really did. They had an exceptional third quarter considering their best player was out. But this was just pathetic. I mean, so like I said, third quarter is when we lost it. Next, I obviously want to talk about the turnovers. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but that was just, I mean, truly, that was the game. We ended up with, let's see here, we ended up with 23 turnovers to their 4. 8 to their 8. So I don't even know what to say. I mean, yes, Victor Oladipo played a pretty big game. He stripped Jalen. I said it a couple times so far. This was kind of vintage Jalen, just running into the paint and losing the basketball. I know he had 40, but I'm not even really impressed by that. Tatum had a pretty epic collapse. Let's see how he did. He had 10 points on 3 of 14 shooting and 1 of 7 from the field. Is he going to do that all the time? No. But the fact that he did it in this game when we absolutely needed to come back from behind and win, he just didn't. We allowed Bam to have 31 points on 68% from the field. Kind of brutal. We really didn't even put him to the line. He only shot 1 free throw, so I guess that was good. But other than that, he just absolutely diced us. We could attribute that to Robert Williams being out. I don't think he's active for game 4 today. I'm not sure. But I know Jimmy Butler's back. I know Tyler Hero's going to be out, but he really hasn't been doing much for them anyway. Honestly, he's kind of had like maybe, 15 a game, but it's very, very quiet. Really hasn't really scared me. I was just kind of blown away. I mean, we brought it to within one in the final minutes from that huge three, I think, from Jaylen Brown, and then we just let Max Strus have a three, and then it was back up to four, and the game was over. Maybe with like a minute or so left. We just never seemed like we really wanted to win. We allowed them to blow us out in 39 to 18 in the first quarter. We allowed that to happen. Truly, it was mentally weak. We didn't care about losing, and we just kind of figured, oh, we'll make up those points later. Don't worry about it. I would have liked to have even seen some more timeouts used. I really don't know how many timeouts were even used in that first quarter, but I honestly probably would have used them all just to stop the bleeding. That the arena was just silent. It was ridiculous. Like, this can't keep happening where we just lose one quarter by a ton. You know, Nate McShane, friend of the podcast, even pointed out, and I just went back and looked. The Celtics have only lost 2 quarters in this entire series, and we trailed 2-1. We've lost this first quarter 39 to 18, which killed us. And then in game 1, we lost the third quarter 39 to 14 again. Those are the only 2 quarters we've lost, and we trail the series 2-1. That's extremely frustrating. Again, the turnovers obviously were disgusting. It seemed like everybody was giving the ball away. We had a 21% turnover percentage. That was disgusting. I mean, we had a great offensive rebounding game, but I mean, it didn't matter. We were playing from behind the entire night. So let's really look at the turnovers here. Again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but this is a huge factor. Bam Adebayo with 4 steals. PJ Tucker with 3 steals. Kyle Lowry with 4 steals. Jimmy Butler with 2 steals. Again, mind you, in the first half alone. 4 steals to Oladipo. 1 steal to Gabe Vincent. And 1 steal to Caleb Martin. So what does that translate to? Well, it translates to 7 turnovers from Jaylen Brown. 6 to Tatum. 3 to Horford. 4 to Smart. 2 to Tice. I mean, nobody was protecting this basketball. It was just, it was absurd. The only Celtic that actually got minutes and finished with a positive plus minus was Grant Williams with 8, plus 8. He had 10 points, 6 fouls, guy fouled out, 5 rebounds. I mean, this was just a bad game, and it was a terrible game to have it. Look, this wasn't a must-win game necessarily, but now you've put us in a position where we have to win today. We have to win Monday, or else we fall 3-1 and the series is over. I'm kind of already under the impression that that we are going to need a huge mental bounce back to even win this game today. Seriously, I mean, to lose a game like that, that's really going to affect the psyche of the group. Jimmy Butler's coming back. I mean, Tatum and Smart both went down separately in this game with injuries. Smart with that bad ankle roll, and then Tatum had a stinger to his shoulder. They both left, and I thought, okay, they're out. And then they came back, and the crowd, it was like Paul Pierce when he came back out of that wheelchair in the playoffs. But instead of giving us that boost, instead of giving us that jolt, we still just ended up splitting the third quarter and then winning the fourth quarter by 9. I mean, this was just a winnable game. So frustrating. It seemed like we just kind of gave up even from the beginning. I mean, you just can't allow a team. I mean, the Heat are just a tough team. They're a tough-nosed team. Jimmy Butler, tough-nosed guy, obviously kind of had a rough bringing up when he was a child, and I think that really kind of influences his play. He's even said that. But other than that, are we really going to let Kyle Lowry beat us like that? I mean, their pace was different. Their pace was much better than the previous game. But Kyle Lowry's just able to push that up. They got a lot more fast break points that way. I don't know. It just bothers me that it just seems like we gave up in that first quarter. Won the second quarter by only 6. After trailing the entire time. But then the third quarter was really what got me. We came out of that halftime. Ime Udoka probably had a decent halftime speech. And instead of kind of coming out with some fire, no Jimmy Butler, we come out and split the third, 25-25. That baffled me. It just truly baffled me. So if I'm going to look ahead optimistically, I'm going to say that Tatum is not going to have a bad game twice in a row. I'm going to say that, Brown did have 40 on 70% from the field in that game. He carried the weight. He kind of brought us back to a reasonable, to within striking distance. Jaylen Brown did. So, kudos to him for that. This game today, I mean, we're not going to have this many turnovers again. That was insane. I can't even believe it. Hopefully we keep the fouling down. I mean, we made it to the line a lot more than they did. It seemed that we shot way more free throws than they did. They shot 12 of 14, and we shot 23 of 30. So definitely a lot better. I know Jaylen kind of missed a few. I don't know. I just don't think that there's any reason that an all-star caliber player should ever miss a free throw. Honestly, I feel like they should shoot 100% from the field every time. I don't know, from the stripe every time. I really do believe that because it's the easiest part of your game you can perfect. But yeah, looking ahead, or just optimistically, we did a good job of getting to the line, slowing the game down, but in the end, we just ran out of time. I think today's game will be a lot better because it truly is a must win, and we are in the Garden. If we even this thing up, 2-2, then we just have to kind of steal a game in Miami and then win one at home, and then that's it, So whether that's win game 6 and 7 or win game 5 and 6, whatever it is, we just need to win this game today and, focus on the future later. But man, that was just a pathetic game. I was just screaming at the top of my lungs. I mean, truly, it was just so aggravating to see that unfold, to watch us kind of quit like that. So I'm just really hoping that TD Garden will, do their thing tonight and put us on the map and keep us motivated. And this is a must win. So let's just go out and win it. All right. Thanks for listening. And, let's go out and win this one because we have no choice. Thanks for listening.
Rock and Jouv. Rock and Jouv. Rock and Jouv. Rock and Jouv. Rock and Jouv.